Divide and rule policy type. Okay. So the first part we just call it as a pre-program. Okay. So what we just make it as a pre-programming. Means the knowledge which you just want to write any programs we are just going to read. Right? So sir, what is the content that we may have in this pre-programming? Means first basic introduction, right? What is Python? What is Python? This is the major thing first we will discuss. Next, the keywords. Next, variable definition. Okay, or variables. And next, identifiers. Okay. Next, we'll discuss about the data text. And then operators. So next we'll discuss about the operators, and then we'll discuss about the after operators, copy operations, and then we'll discuss about things that is typecasting. Type conversion. These are the basic thing. There is scratch basic thing. So if you know this, for sure I'm just telling this. Sir, whatever the thing we have just explained this. You are 100% sure in this one. Okay? So writing programming is nothing. Any program. Okay, so you of course you just want to think for that one. That's for sure. Okay, sir, I will buy all this stuff and I'm ready to write a program. No. Here you have to understand this. What's happening here? Like everything and each and every concept you just want to remember. Based operators. Like example, if I just mention 25 plus 19, what will be the output? I don't want the exact output. You are just telling like 11 or 117. It shouldn't be fine. Anything. We don't want to predict the exact output. Which kind of output we are just going to get? It's like if I just do 11.9, what may be the output? 0.9 will be the output. Like that, if you are just able to predict the output of that by understanding which operator we are using and which operation we are just performing there, everything. So it is very easy to write any programming here. You should be very clear in this operators, copy operations, typecasting, data types. If you want to do programming operator. Okay? And these identifiers, variables, and keywords, these are also important things. Why? Because how to create variables. Okay, how to use the variables. Everything that is going to learn here. Okay, so that's why we are just going to make this pre-programming as a bit more thing. So here, while teaching this pre-programming, I will be very slow. Okay, very in-depth until understand the next concept. Why? Because it's a very basic of your program. Okay, once our pre-programming is done, then we will start with the program. So what we are just going to learn in programming, like some example programs we are just going to solve. Like we are going to discuss about control statements, conditional statements, loopings, while loop, for loop, functions, recursions, all this. And whatever the thing we are just going to do in a programs. Okay, basic programs and all. We are just going to learn in this program. So here we are just going to learn about control statements. So in control statements we will have two types. First one is conditional and second one is looping. Looping statements. Okay, of course in conditional statements again we will have like simply if else and next. That will be in case of conditional. Next we will be having something that is of looping statements. So in this we will be having while loop, for loop, and in this one like nested for loop will be there, pattern programming, everything will be included in this one. Okay. Next we will be having one more thing, that is the functions. So in functions also we will be having good as like it will be functions and user defined functions and everything. After that recursive functions. Or the recursive we can discuss. Okay. So these are the things we are just going to discuss in case of program. Okay. So it doesn't mean that I'm just giving introduction. No. On Python I just solve around 40 to 50 programs. Okay, same programs will solve in case of for loop also. Same, of course, the logic will be same, the syntax which we are just going to use will be different. Okay, so this we will discuss in case of program. And next, what we will be going to discuss is object-oriented program. So the next we will discuss is object-oriented programming. We call it as a. Of course, we should not pronounce that as a oops. We just want to mention wherever we are just mentioning that. Whether in case of interview or binary or direct communication. So we are not supposed to mention it as a oops concept. So you have to mention it as a object-oriented program. Okay. So in object-oriented programming, we have several things. There is so many small concepts and all we have. Like the introduction of a class and object. Okay, and class members, object members, and constructor methods, okay, and static method, or we can call it as a class method or object method, specific method. Generate number. Right? So I was like, we can just mention this class method object. Object. And of course we have static method also. Okay, so this is the basic introduction of the class and object. We didn't start with object-oriented programming. In object-oriented programming, we will be having four things majorly. So those things like inheritance, abstraction, encapsulation, and polymorphism. Okay. So of course, in this also in inheritance also we will be having constructor chaining, method chaining, and we will be having single level, multiple, hierarchical, hybrid. In subtraction, abstract method, subtract class, complete class, everything will be there. In encapsulation, public, private, protected will be there. And in case of polymorphism, method overloading, method overriding, method operator overloading, operator overriding, everything will be there in case of polymorphism. We have so many sub concepts. I'm not mentioning all here. So if I just mention everything, the goal is not enough. Okay? So major things. Okay? So the main concept meaning I just mentioned. This is object-oriented programming. And the next step is going to discuss the advanced method. So first what we have done, we have just learned about the basics. Using the basics, we have learned some programs. Okay? These programs just assume that we have something like around 10 lines of programs. The same 10 lines of program using some advanced concepts, we can do it in a one line. Means we are just simplifying our programs using the advanced concepts. Okay? So here we will be having the functional programming. Majorly functional programming. So in that we will be having lambda expressions and a map function and filter will be there and reduce will be there. Next we will be having comprehension. So in that list, set, dictionary comprehension. Okay. Next will be the decorators, generators, and iterators. and we will do file handling. And parsing techniques. Parsing techniques in the JSON will be there and pickle will be there. And then we will do the exception handling. And then regular exception. So all this stuff we are just going to discuss in case of course, in this exception handling also we have default exception handling, specific exception handling, and generic exception handling. Use custom exception. Okay. Again, sorting will be there, custom sortings will be there. So everything, of course, so many concepts are there. Very all very small concepts in case of advanced Python. Why we are just mentioning this all as small concepts? Means here we are not going to learn any new logics here, or we are not going to do anything new. Whatever the thing we already exist, we are just going to simplify them. So that's why it will be very simple to discuss. So that's why I'm just mentioning all these things as a small concepts or small topics. Okay. So entirely this is the content that we are just going to discuss in this session. Here, in this case, we require around 15 to 17 sessions for this one. Sessions. Like I'm telling classes, I'm not telling about the days. 15 to 17 days, we just want for this. And here, it takes around 20 to 30 minimum. So why 20 to 30? We can't print up 25 to 30 or 20 to 20. It depends on you people. Then we are catching up logic, we are just cracking the logic very easily. We can just do it very fast. We are thinking very fast, we are practicing very good. We can finish in 20 days. So we need more practice. We have to discuss once more. We have to revise that one. We have to do that. We have to do this. It takes 20, 30 days. Still, we need to practice more so that takes 32 days, 35 days. Okay? Here, this one also it takes 15 to 17 sessions. Maximum 15, and just taking the boundary of 2 sessions. In case of object. So here, this one also it takes around like 13 to 15 sessions for this. Total how many sessions it takes to finish entire Python? On an average, 60 to 70 sessions. On an average. Means, on an average, we can just consider 2.5 months. 2.5 to 3 months. Okay? So in 3 months, maximum it takes 3 months, not more than that. It will never take more than 3 months. Maximum 3 months it takes to finish the entire Python. Okay? Once it is done, by that time, you will be finishing your web technology SQL also. Okay? So then immediately you can start with your Java. Okay? This is our content development business. If you want to take from this, you can take from this. Start with the keywords. And one more thing, disclaimer. I'm not going to discuss in the same order. So I can't tell that because of course whatever content I'm just getting into my mind, I'm just writing here. It doesn't mean the same order we have to follow. No. So sometimes after data I'll discuss the type message. After copy operations I'll discuss that. Simple thing also. The thing is, first of all, just tell me what is this? Bond. Who named this as a bond? The inventor. Fine, of course, that's obviously correct. So, of course, people have common. I'm not a developer, right? So, I just consider this as a person who developed this marker. Of course, invented or developed person. I consider that as the same. A person who developed this marker or this object, he named this as a marker. So, what is the task given to this marker? We can perform some task with this. So, what is that task?
Write on the board.
We can just write, right? Where I can write?
On the board. Anywhere. Anywhere.
Put on the whiteboard. I can write on a wall. I can write on floor. Yes, anything. It's like even on dark background also I can write, but it will be not visible. Right? Anywhere we can write, but it will be not visible to us. So wherever I am using this, what I can do?
You can write.
We can only write this,
This.
right? Other than writing, can I use this marker for something else? Yes. I will. Again, can I use this marker to operate that projector? We have separate object to operate that projector. Yes, sir. Right? So, in the same way, like how we have one object, and for that object we have given some assigned some task. Right? So we can make use of that object to perform that operation wherever we want, whenever we want. Right? But we cannot modify the actual task assigned for this object. Can we modify the task assigned for this object? No chance at all. Right? In the same way, in Python, they have some words. They have defined them. It's like a person who developed the Python, they have defined some words. They have already written some words. Okay? For those words, they have already given some task. They have assigned some task. If we want, we can make use, wherever you want, you can make use of that. But if you are using that, the task they have assigned right already predefined, okay, it will perform that task only. It will never perform some other thing else. Are you understanding that? Are you getting? In Python, we have some words. Here we have 35 words. Okay? For all those 35 words, different tasks, the developers, they have given some task already. What we can do, we can make use of those words in our program. So in looping program, it can be either recursion program, either it can be object-oriented program, in advanced Python program, anywhere you can make use of those words. But if you are using those words, okay, it will perform its own task. It will never perform some other thing else. Are you getting this one? Sure. Like example. You know about the if is a one of the keyword. What that if will do, it will check the condition. Right? It is just going to just simply it will check the condition. So if will just mention, after that I will mention some expression. So I just mention 10 greater than 20, 20 greater than 30, 40, something I just use some expression. What this keyword will do?
Check the
It
condition.
will check the condition. Right? If I just make use of this keyword anywhere in my program, it will check the condition and it will not do anything else. Right? So here we have like this type of keywords, 35 keywords we do have. Okay? In 3 point something is there, 3.9 or 3.8 or 10. In these three versions, they have proposed one more keyword that is like peg password. Okay? So later they just remove that keyword also. Okay? So they just introduced that, but with that keyword there was no much use of that. There were some bugs because of that. So that's why they have just removed that peg password keyword. Okay? There was a 36 keywords. Again, it became a 35 keywords. Okay? As of now, we have 35 keywords in our Python. So, sir, what is a keyword? Means these are the predefined words. Predefined means already defined. Right? Or we can call it as a preserved words. They are preserved to perform the specific operation. So that we call it as a preserved words also. Getting? So, keywords are the predefined words or preserved words whose task is predefined by the developers. For those words, developers they have already assigned some task. Are you getting? Correct? So this is just like an introduction. If anybody asks, like, tell me what, just give me introduction about the keywords. Keywords are the predefined words or the preserved words whose task is predefined by the developer. Predefined or preserved words. Whose task is predefined by the developer. And there is no restrictions for us. So here you cannot use the keyword, here you cannot, no, it is not like that. Wherever you want, you can do that. But according to situation, you have to use. Like, for example, you have your basic human rights. Like, you can laugh wherever you want. Right? You can cry wherever you want. You can shout wherever you want. Don't shout in that. Yes, I don't know. So it's a human's basic right, so we will shout. Don't do that. Of course, we will be having some sense. We should have some sense to use that task wherever. So, fine, like this. Unfortunately, someone is expired. We will visit that further. Isn't it a good thing to laugh there? Sometimes one more. What do we call that? Cafe for us. Well, see, if you go to some fun, there if you are laughing, there is already one cafe. They will take one more one. Why? Because already you are coming here and you are laughing. Right? So, of course, we can laugh wherever I want. But sometimes it affects us. According to situation, we need to make this. Here also, according to situation, in that specific syntax, we can make use of all the keywords without any restrictions. We can make use. But if we are using in a non-syncing position, then it will throw you error. Okay, there is no restrictions that you have to import that, you have to download that, you have to link that, you have to import that package, nothing. Directly you can use all the keywords. But there is some restrictions, like while checking the condition. So if you just like if, okay, 10 plus 20 greater than and 20. Is it in the answer? Actually, and is also one of the keywords. Right? So I cannot make use of and wherever I want. Instead, of course, we can use, but it will throw you error. Where we have to use, if we want to use the and, we have to follow some syntax. So like that, we have to follow some syntax to use the keywords. Okay? So that the final conclusion is we can make use of all the keywords wherever we just want, but we have to follow some syntax. You got it here? Right? So what is a keyword? Keyword is a predefined words or preserved words whose task is predefined by the developers, which we can make use of all the keywords in our program. Okay? And can I modify the task of the keyword like this marker? So for this marker, can I modify the actual task of this marker? No. That's in the same way. We have the keywords, but we can make use of the keywords also, but we cannot modify the task of the keywords. That is one thing. Okay? So how to discuss what are those 35 keywords? So tell me what are the 35 keywords? Don't ask. But for sure that I can make use of all the 35 keywords in your project. According to situation, we can make use of that. Right? So for example, I just tell you. In your engineering class, how many students are there? 40. 45? Let us consider 40 average. Do you people know each and every name of all of students? Yes. Right? From 4 years to this. Right? If I ask, write all the 40 names, for sure you will miss one or two. Not only one or two, so many people. But if you want to go to each and every person, if you are trying to communicate with them, for sure you are able to communicate with them with their perfect name. According to situation, we can make use of the names. But if at a time, if you just want to make it a list, it is not possible. That's it. Here also 35 keywords are there. So how can we know all those 35 keywords? So how can I display all the list of 35 keywords? Simple. Here we just want to import keyword. Import keyword. Keyword KW is. So then what it will display a list of 35 keywords that you have in I. Okay, I'll just show you that. See here, I just go for import keyword dot kW list. See, we are just getting all the list of certified keywords. Okay, so false, none. Observe here. If you observe something properly, among all those keywords, there are three special keywords you can observe. So, what are those three special keywords? False, none, and true. How did you identify the specialty here?
Uppercase is there.
Means all the
Uppercase.
other keywords are totally lowercase. Here, false, none, and true. These are starting with uppercase and normally it is like
Camel case.
not camel case. It is like a case
Camel
mode of
case.
instances.
Ending.
Title format or not actually title format. Initial cap or there's some function. Yeah, capitalized format. Okay. So here, why is that? What is the specialty of that? So if you are just measuring or if you are just identifying that little bit different from others, so there should be some specialty of that one, right? Simple. The thing is false, none, true. These three keywords I can make use as a values for any variable. So we have created some variables, right? For example, if I want to create a is equals to 10, b is equals to 20, c is equals to 30. Like this, we just want to create some variables, right? So a is a what? Variable name. 10 is what? A value, which is assigning for the variable. So as a value, I can make use of this none or false or true. These three keywords I can make use as a value. Okay? Except these three keywords, I cannot make use of any other keywords as a value. If I try to use, it will throw you error. That is the only specialty that we have in between these three keywords. Okay? So we have three special keywords also. Those are false, none, and true. So we can make use of these keywords as a values. Okay? Except these three, we cannot use any other keywords as a values. So like for example, I just show you that one. A is equals to true. So it is not throwing any error. It is storing. And B is equals to false. C is equals to
No.
yeah. We can store it. If I try to store, D is equals to and error. E is equals to as error. F is equals to accept. And if I try to use any other keyword as a value, it will throw you error. Except these three false, none, and true. Got it here? Right? That is about the keywords that we have. Understand this concept here? Keywords. So what is the keyword? Keywords are predefined or reserved for. Whose task is predefined by the. Whereas we can make use of keywords in our program without any limitations. But we cannot modify the actual task of a keyword. Okay? Like for example, if you just want to explain about the keywords, my answer will be like observe okay? Keywords are like basically the predefined words, or we can mention it as a reserved list. Well, we can make use of all the keywords in our programs without any limitations or without any importations. And if we just want to make use, we can make use of any keywords anywhere. But we cannot modify the actual task of a keyword, which is already predefined by the developers. And here in Python we have totally of 35 keywords we will have. And one more thing is here we have three special keywords, those are false, none, and true. Whereas it makes the difference between, from all the other keywords. Such as like we can assign these three keywords false, none, true as the values of any other variables. Other than all the keywords, we cannot use other than these three keywords, we cannot make use of any other keywords as a values for any of the variable. So that this reason makes these false null as a special keywords other than 35. Right? Like this, we just want to give the entire introduction of these keywords. It's like what I just need to say is never let the interviewer to ask you more questions. How? Simple. If they are asking you any question, you just give the entire explanation about it. So that what they, if you are just started explaining about that concept totally, they will think that, oh my god, like not only they, even I used to do that. So if they are started explaining about the entire concept, okay, fine, we'll go to another concept. Well, let us consider you only are taking the interview. You are sitting there and you are just taking the interview. If they are giving a long answer, means okay, we will get one confidence that okay, he or she knows that properly. Right? So like that, they will move to another concept. Otherwise, if we just tell what is the keyword? Keyword answer is like keyword is present or predefined words. Again, I will ask, can we modify that? Yes. No, we cannot modify. Again, how many keywords we have? 35 keywords we have. Is there any special keywords? Yes. What are the special keywords? True, false, none. What is the speciality? Like that, in one concept, how many questions you are going to get here? Right? So before they ask you a question, you just answer them so that they will get one confidence or they will just get one good impression on you people to move to another concept. Right? So like that your answer should be there, either in case of interview or in case of examination. Okay, it will get a good impression. Okay? These are like just tips which you have to follow in interview. Okay? So now you just click on and go through what is Python and keep. I'm creating one right? So tell me what does the A contains?
It contains the address of the.
A will never contains the value. It contains the address where the value will be stored. Means here is that whenever I try to create one variable, what happens? Just assume this is a memory. This is the memory. So whenever we try to create any variable, what it will do? It will divide that memory into two layers. Right? So here we consider those two layers as a, for our reference, we are just considering that as a variable layer and value layer. For our reference. Actually the layer name is like stack memory and the heap memory. Stack and the heap. Or for our reference, it is not for any legal things or any professional things. We are for our reference, we consider this as a variable layer. And we consider this as a value layer for our reference purpose. Okay. So while creating the variable, what it will do means it will execute from right to left. Means this entire memory is there, right? That memory will never be at one shot. So it will be having a small memory blocks. Right? This is one memory block. And this is some another memory block. And some more memory blocks. Like this we will be having a several number of memory blocks. Okay? And that too, for each and every memory block, there will be some address. There will be some address. So how that address will be there? Means that address will be in hexadecimal address. Okay? That will be like 0x11, 0x12, 0x13. Is that I'm just mentioning some random address, that's it. 111213. So then what is this 0x? Actually, in Python, 0x represents the hexadecimal. 0b represents binary. Okay, I will show you that also. The address, everything I will show you that. How to get that address also I will show you. Okay. So we have so many memory blocks. In that memory block, this value will get stored. Okay. So for that it will store like 75. Okay. And for the variable a, then address will be given. That is 0x11. That's it. Now tell me, what does the variable a contains? The address. What does that address contains?
The value.
Means here we are not giving a name to a memory block. Sorry, we are not giving a name to a value. Simply generally what we will answer. So what is a variable? It's a name given to a value. No. Variable is nothing but it's a name given to. Where for what I am giving the name?
Address.
For the address. Right? So instead of address we consider that as a memory location. Right? It's a name given to a memory location. For which memory location you are giving a name? In which memory location there will be some value. Are you understanding that? So it is variable is a name given to a memory location where a value has been stored. That is nothing but a variable. Are you understanding that? Getting? Sure? Right? So, sir, I have created a variable. Again, I need to create one more variable. Okay? So, b is equals to 97. Then what happens? Same scenario repeats. First, it will pick the value and will store into some memory block. We have another memory block, right? So, here it will store that 97. So for this memory block, for this address, so the address will be like 0x12. That 0x12 will be equal. Are you getting this? Right? Sir, what happens if the variable name is repeated? Right? So it will be like a is equal to 156. Then what it will do? It will first, of course, how it is going to execute from right to left? Means first it will store the value, again it will give it to a variable. Address will be given. First, it will store the value that will be like 156. Right? Next, this address should be assigned for the variable a. But here there is already a variable.
We can replace it.
Right? There is already a variable called a. So then what it will do? It will remove the previous address and it will make it as a 0x14. That's it.
13.
Simple. Means if the variable name is repeated, what happens? It will never throw you error. It will overwrite the address. It will remove the previous address and it will write the new address. Are you getting this one here? Right? So then what about this value? Since this value is not pointing to any variable, this will be deleted. Right? Is 75 is pointing to any variable name? No. So that's why immediately it will delete. Are you understanding this one? Right? Okay. So sir, fine. The variable name is repeated, the value will be overwritten. What if the value is repeated? Are you understanding the point here? Like, for example, we need to create a variable. A is equals to 79, B is also 79. Right? So, first 79 will be saved into one memory location. That address will be given to here, that has a 0x1. Again, B is also 79. So, I want to save the memory. What I will do? The same 0x1 I will give here. Now tell me, what does that A contains? B. What? A contains B. What does the A contains? 79. What does the B contains?
79.
We got it. The value is same. Correct? But there is a small change. Okay? I'll just show you that so that you will understand that. Okay? Inside there is something what we call that trick.
Please. 24.
So I'll just give a is equals to 10, b is equals to 20. I have created two variables. Find a is b. Sir, I want to see the address. So you know, right, the address will be given to the variable a. So whatever a contains, then it is giving the value. Okay, if I call the variable, it is giving the value. Sir, I don't want the value. I want to know what is the address of that value. Right? I just want to know the address. How can I get the address of any value or any variable? Then you can make use of a function called id. Okay? So that simply you can just make use of id of a. We got some address. id of b. We got some address. Understand? Sure. Everybody got this one right? Sure. There is no questions in this. You should get one question. You should get one question. What did I do here? There will be some address for a memory block. Which type of address? Exactly. But what is the address we are getting here? Numerical. Right? So you can ask, sir, you are cheating us. Huh? I'm cheating you. Sir, we don't want this normal address. Right? I want to display my address of any value in the form of hexadecimal only. Then I will go for hex of address of a. HEX. I'll just mention to get any of the hexadecimal value. We say, of course, internally it will be having the hexadecimal address only. But easily users will not understand the hexadecimal values. So that's why it will convert into integer values and it will give you the output. Okay? So, again, do you understand this one? No? Simple one. If you want to get the address of any variable, simply you will just make use of the ID of the variable name. Right? If you want to get the hexadecimal value of that variable, then I will just make use of HEX of that address. How can I get the address? ID of A. So then I will get the hexadecimal address of the variable A. Now do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Right? And here, one more question will be there. Sir, hexadecimal means it will be like 10F only, right? Right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, sorry, not 10, 8, 8, 3, 10. Right? But what is this X is doing here? What's the job of X? Say, only F is there means that's totally fine. But what is this X? I told right? In Python, 0x represents hexadecimal. 0b also you will get when in case of binary. So if I just have like 298, I want to get the binary of that means so I can make it of bin of 298. So here I will get 0b. Then 0b is representing the binary. Okay, like that this is some code type. Okay, so that is also hexadecimal address of any of the. Do you understand that? Right? So I'll just show you. A is equals to 10 and B is equals to 20. We have two variables, ID of A and ID of B. Fine. So what if the variable is repeated?
So the hexadecimal binary are between two single boot, but the normal integer is not there.
Where is not there?
So in the normal address, numerical address, there is no single boot.
That is an integer format. So since here we have some alphabetical characters, it is using single quotes to enclose them.
For the alphabetical.
For alphabet. So otherwise it will be considered as a variable. So that here it is considered as an integer format. So we don't want any single quotes. Here, since we do have some alphabetical characters, so that's why it is using Singapore's to encode. Okay. Here also, there also we are getting the 0 B, right? So that's why it is considered. Okay. Here, this one you understand, right? So simply it is creating the variable. What if the variable name is repeated? A is equals to 75, B is equals to 97. Okay. Means A is equals to 75. A is equals to 75, B is equals to 97, means the address of A and the address of B. Done. So address we got. And again, A is equals to 156. A is equals to 156. Now what happens? The address of A will be. Okay. If the variable name is repeated, what happens?
It will show new address.
It will just store the new address to the variable A. So we have something like 984 as the address. So I just take the address of A again. See, it is just totally of some different address it is displayed to. Right? Are you understanding this one? Okay. So, if the variable name is same, the address will be overwritten. Overwriting the previous address with new address. So, what if the value is same for both variables? A is equals to 99, B is equals to 99. Okay? The address of A and the address of B both are same. If the value is same, the address will be same for both the ways. But just go for A is equals to 199, B is equals to 199, C is equals to 299. Sorry, C is equals to 299, D is equals to 299. The address of A and the address of B will be same. The address of C, okay, and the address of D will be
Same.
how? Same. But what is the reason? That may be your question. Why? Because unless the value is 256, the address will be same. Once the value exceeds 256, the address will be different. Means for multiple variables, if you are assigning the same value, like if it is less than or equals to 256, for 1000 variables, same value you are assigning, the address will be same. Once the value is exceeds more than 256, the address will be different. Means I will show you that. A is equals to 256, B is equals to 256, C is equals to 257, D is equals to 257. The address of A and the address of B will be same. The address of C and the address of D will be same. Then what is the reason? Why? Because of the ASCII values, very initial stage. Okay, the ASCII values. Then for each and every character, there are some ASCII values. For every character, for uppercase alphabets and for lowercase alphabets, for numeric expressions, everything, we have a different of ASCII values. In the initial stage, the ASCII values was only till 256. Okay, because of that, they have just mentioned that as a limit. But the ASCII values continued, the limit stays there. Are you getting this? Is it? Initially, the ASCII values, we have something called ASCII. ASCII. American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Okay? For uppercase A and for lowercase a, like for alphabets and all, there are different types of ASCII values. So initially, very initial stage of programming language, okay, not very initially, in the middle age, okay. The ASCII values was, the maximum ASCII value is 256. So by considering that, they defined the same address with the address will be copied for multiple variables till 256. Later on, what happened? The ASCII values increased. Okay. Now we have ASCII values more than 256, but the limit for this one it remains same. There only it is same. Okay. So that is the only reason. Okay. So you have to remember this number. If the value exceeds 256, the address will be different. If the value is less than or equal to 256, the address will be same. If the value is same, the address will be same for multiple variables also. Now do you understand this one here? Got it? Right?
Sir, up to 256 means negative value is also stored.
Yes. Means like A is equals to minus 256, B is equals to minus 256. The address of A is not same. Address of B is
It is minus 257.
it is here only it is different, right? Okay. Is 0 to 256. Okay? Right. But maximum cases we don't consider in this one. Why? Because the values which that is going to enter, we don't know what values that is going to enter. That we just compare with the values. Okay? Understand this one here?
Yes, sir.
Sure?
Yes.
Right? So, here, this is the basic intro about the variable. And it's single, okay? So, for one variable, how many values we can assign? Right? And here what we can do is we can assign for one variable, we can assign a single value or we can assign multiple values also. So like A is equals to, I can mention 10, 20, 30, 40. It will accept. But it will accept that as a one collection. Okay? So what are the collections that we have? Everything if you want to know means you have to know about the data types. Okay? We'll discuss that also. And so for multiple variables can assign the same value. Means like A, B, C, D is equals to 10. No. It will throw you error. Okay? In those cases what I will do, A, B, C, D is equals to 10, 20, 30, 40. We can do this. Here what happens means it is going to define multiple variables in a single line. Okay? The actual name of this process is not a variable creation. Actual name is packing and unpacking. Okay, here it is just performing the packing operation, here it is performing the unpacking operation. So that you will understand that concept in function concept. When you just consider functions in programs, then you will understand is what is packing and what is unpacking and all. As of now, you can just consider this as a multiple variable creation process. If you want to create a multiple variables, you can make use of this syntax to create multiple variables. Okay? But actual name is, it is not a multiple variable creation. The actual name is unpacking. Okay? So for that you need a knowledge of collection and all. So that's why I'm not explaining that much in depth about the packing and unpacking. Okay? As of now we don't want this. Okay? Later we'll just learn that one. You got this one right? In what are the ways we can create a variable?
There is no requirement of any brackets, like parentheses.
As of now we don't. We need that actually. For list we need a square braces, for tuple we need a parenthesis, for set we need a curly bracket, for dictionary also we need curly brackets. So we need all those.
So we can write that bracket ABCD bracket equals to that.
Yes, of course we can do that one also. So here you can just mention parenthesis. Then then it will consider that as a tuple.
No, no, the upper one.
Huh?
Bracket ABCD, bracket is equal to 10.
So sir, he is saying
This one
No, but only 10 will be there.
for this.
Yes, sir.
No. There is no also exchange, right? Error. See, you will get it. Here what happens means when you are creating multiple variables in a single line, the number of variable names should be exactly equal to number of values. So if we have 10 ABCD is equals to 10, 20, 30, 40, comma 50 also I have. Then error. Here also we are getting like unback. Okay. So sir, what happens if I have only 3 values? Then also error. Okay. Means whenever we are just performing, okay, means like whenever we are creating multiple variables in a single line, then what happens? The variable number of variable names that we have should be exactly equal to the number of values. Understand that? Got it? Right? That's our variable creation. Okay? Take down heading as a